But are you going to accept that? I mean, I know you
Yeah.
watched this panel before, and you see the decorum of the women.
Mhm.
You know that there's some polarity in that, and the reason why is because we have a licensed expert here. Me personally, and I'm not
Mhm.
projecting onto you. I'm just saying I wouldn't buy it because I know how they truly behave, and I know that these women, particularly, are putting it there in character.
Mhm.
Darwin, did you listen to anything that he just stated
I
on how
understood
Yeah.
exactly what he said. I
the
think you understood what I was
psychological
saying too.
differences
I'm
between
telling
men and
you,
women,
you
and
know
yet
they
you
in
still
character right now.
came the
I
way
don't
you
like
just
it.
came and
You don't
wonder why
know. You probably ain't
the
been watching, but yeah.
responses you get, Darwin.
Ty.
So
And then
please,
you said these women as if
Mhm.
all of us have the same opinion or same approach to the same topics when we both know that's not true.
no. Listen, I'm not talking about y'all position on a particular topic. I'm talking about y'all etiquette right now. Like I think Sweeney been recording. I think you just set the record this year for 2025 for being able to go longer than any man on this panel without being interrupted. Congratulations to you. I don't know why that is.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Now I know I
You could listen. No, I'm saying you could say it's the degree, or you could say it's a whole host of different things. My field is dominated by women. I primarily work around women.
Mm.
I think it was Jasmine that kind of alluded to this whole transactional process of like what you'll get out of me when you kind of set the tone. When you kind of act this way, then I'll act that way. I see it.
That was
Um, yeah.
I'll believe you if and only if you visit this show maybe 4 or 5 times. I guarantee you by the third time, they gonna tell you ain't shit. They gonna wipe your ass with the microphone.
Now, Darwin, when have we ever told you that you weren't?
right. Well,
Hey,
you just making up
Now
stuff. It be the man
I
calling women
don't do
a
that.
hit dog holler.
That's
That's
fine
what
Hey,
by me,
so
but I ain't
you
never did it.
you
If the
called a
shoe
whole
fit,
woman
wear
a
it.
Jezebel and got fully out of character before Darwin, and you know what I'm talking about because I
So
had
what?
to tell you, like Darwin, I have never seen you act like this
Oh,
before.
she got a
But
demon. I heard
you,
her.
I'm just saying,
I get it.
don't put it all on us.
There's
Don't
levels
do
to it.
that.
I get it. Yeah.
Okay.
so Jeff,
Yeah.
I like what you spoke about when you talked about accountability, right?
Mhm.
And how when we say that they've done something, how they would internalize, and it actually goes on to explain to Shan why DNA tests would need to be mandatory.
Mhm.
Because and I kind of I created this slideshow while we were sitting up here, and it kind of just shows exactly what women would do if we asked for a DNA test. And I'll put it up here again so y'all can just kind of see the responses after the question.
Mhm.
JR, if you could put me on the big screen. Hold on, wait. JR, calling JR. Marcus, put me on the big screen. One of y'all niggas put me on the big screen.
JR said he had to use the restroom, bro.
I'm not in that account right now.
Oh, damn. Oh, well, I basically the slideshow. Oh, okay. And so this question was asked, and this was kind of the women's response. This was almost half of the women responding this way.
They'll leave. You single.
Yeah, that's kind of fast. Who's a speed reader here?
I mean, I can't pause it.
That's
But
changing super fast, Sweeney.
I don't know. Let me see if I can change the
Because
speed.
that was like a bunch of paragraphs.
Hold on, wait.
So can I
It's
say,
all negative response.
while you're trying to pull that up,
It's
Sweeney?
not all, so it's not all. So all the responses in there weren't negative, but more than half of them were. And and the thing was that the women largely were basically saying, if you doubt me, we're gonna have an issue. And that's what happens if a guy comes to a woman and asks her, hey, I need a DNA test. Can we get a DNA test for this child? Her immediate feelings isn't gonna be for his assurance or anything like that. It's going to be, how dare you doubt that this child is yours? What are you accusing me of? Are you telling me that I'm not? Are you accusing me of cheating on you? So that's the reason why a lot of men, because I know that Laisha was like, so y'all telling me that y'all won't ask because of hurt feelings? Yes, because we try to spare y'all feelings when we're involved with y'all. If it means the end of my relationship, if I ask for a DNA test from my wife, or if I ask for a DNA test from my long-term girlfriend, someone I'm in a relationship with, then why would I ask? Why not just have it mandatory, which it'll eliminate your ability your
I
ability.
guess I'm sorry, Sweeney, but I'm trying to understand that, and I hate to say this in such a vulgar manner, but we're saying that you trust her enough to raw dog it, but you also need to ask for a DNA test? Because if the same girl you're asking for a DNA test from is the same girl you should be using a condom with.
You see the response you just gave?
Can
Nothing about the insurance. It's all about how, oh, well, if you raw dog her, then why don't you trust her? Well, that's just because I raw dog her.
Yeah, that's all I'm asking.
Doesn't mean that somebody else also did.
Grant her argument. Grant her argument, Lacey.
Yeah.
What is do you think it's fair to draw a parallel between an immediate result or immediate proof or confirmation whenever you're inserting into the vagina raw versus something that's got to take a 9-month process and a DNA test on top of it?
Yeah, because AIDS is worse than a baby. So if you're willing to gamble with AIDS, syphilis,
Ask Brother Podcast.
I mean, I don't know. I just would feel like if you don't feel the need to protect yourself from a disease.
A blank slate.
Lacey, you trolling. Lacey,
I'm not.
You are trolling.
Can I say something?
I'm not.
So you know what? And you know what? Y'all just confirmed that y'all ain't been to therapy.
You are trolling right now at this point.
Because
I'm saying that if you look at this woman like I have to question where her body has been, I would think that you would look at her in the same way when you're on the aisle picking up the condoms, is all I'm saying.
Golly.
What the
So Jeff, I'm gonna ask a question.
So,
I'm gonna ask a question if I could.
Like,
yeah, Trev, you said you about to ask a question.
I think
I'll let you finish your point, then I'll ask you a question.
Okay. Yeah, in regards to why the reason for why I'm in the camp with Sweeney and some of the other panelists in terms of why it should be mandated is for this very reason. There would be no more arguments. 1/3 of all paternity tests already currently come back with the person who they thought would be the father is coming out as not the father. So that's just the ones that's being tested. Depending on the age range, men and women are cheating at the same rates. And then when you factor in that a heavy percentage of men are not even having sex at all, we're in a sexually liberated or libertine environment where the opportunity or really the optionality of giving women the benefit of the doubt in the West, we have too much data now to just assume that women will listen well, respond well, all women will just handle it in the greatest way. No, even just having conversations about the idea of it in panel conversations like this, it can kind of go left. Now reimagine, like Sweeney said, doing this when she's pregnant, doing this when she's close to delivery. If anything, this is one of the few things that men are bitching about that every reasonable human being, I don't see a single argument outside of because the woman would be upset. Outside of if we remove the component of she'll be offended, she'll be upset, you should have thought about this sooner. Outside of these like subjectively semi-superficial justifications, it protects both parties. If anything, I think if it became mandated in a particular region or state, we'd actually start seeing women who are the ones that's popping up as that 30% of people who are lying or who are doing paternity fraud. I actually see the women that living in that region, they actually would start to change and adapt and their behaviors would improve.
No, they won't. I'm gonna tell you what they're gonna do. They're gonna go to other states where it's not enforced to have a baby.
Listen, but every woman's not going to jump up and leave the state. So for the women who choose to stay or have to stay, more than likely when they know that, oh, snap, from the very beginning, this guy didn't sign, he's not the biological father. What you're going to see is a cascading effect of women are going to start to learn from other women's mistakes. And they're going to start to observe where the homegirl that just is getting all these perks and this guy is working to himself to the bone and he's paying for a kid that's not even his. Like a lot of that's going to go away. So no, there is no perfect strategy, but it absolutely, to me, is one that's very logical. It makes sense. And because of the jurisdiction by state and city and region, the rules aren't uniform. If we had one uniform policy, now, and when people say, well, how can we do this or what would we do this? All the women that say, you know what, Jeff, y'all on to something. You know what? You're saying we don't care about men, and this is clearly something that only impacts men negatively. How can we move in this direction? Stop voting for people that you know will continue these policies. So the very group that girl power and the future is female and this and that, is that the political group that's probably going to run with this agenda? Probably not. So if you're not willing to make that jump, then you're not actually serious about actually caring about doing the work of actually addressing these types of things.